Alright guys, I'm starting a new channel and it's basically about my yard. That's why I'm going to call it the yard. Anyway, I bought a house 2 years ago, and this house is um, it needed some work. Actually, the house didn't need work, the yard needed some work. So I've been working on my yard and I've been building all sorts of stuff like this pigeon coop. I have a chicken run, I have vegetable gardens, I have a koi pond. I built all this stuff that I've been continuously building for the last 2 years. But a bunch of friends and family members are like, document your stuff so we could see the changes and so on. Now, I'm no expert in any of this stuff. I don't really know how to build things. I just kind of wing it and watch a lot of YouTube videos, kind of guess at what I'm doing, and bam, we get product. So here it is. Let me start with my pigeon coop. It's winter time. I was going to start with the garden, but the garden's kind of desolate because frost has already kicked in. So I'm going to start with my pigeons and then maybe go through some privacy screening, whatever, just a lot of backyard stuff. So let's start with this pigeon coop. So this coop cost me 18 bucks to build, and it cost me $18 to build because I had a lot of material laying around and then I ripped it up. So it's really out of spare parts is what I built this coop. So let's take a closer look. All right, here we go. So first off, wait, before we go, the length of the coop is just under 8 feet. I believe it's 93 inches. The depth is 36 inches. So it's 3 feet by almost 8 feet. Okay, now with that said, this is what we got going on. So all this stuff, all the framing stuff, is actually 2x4s ripped in half, and I guess makes a 1 3/4, or you know, they're basically like 2x2s. And I used it to build the structure of the coop. I try to put some angles in to straighten it out. Again, not a carpenter, don't really know what I'm doing, but I think it came out all right overall, at least for 18 bucks, you know, can't beat that. So with that said, so the structure of it, the framing, 2x4s ripped in half. Some of these are even thinner. Actually, this is a bob that I had laying around, so I put it in. All this stuff, this paneling, is paneling that I had laying around. It was kind of rotting. My wife's like, clean out the garage already. So I was like, you know what? Instead of throwing it out, let me build something with it. And so I'm using all this paneling. Even used it on the roof. There's some. I used the paneling on the side, and you know, again, didn't cost me anything because I had it laying around. I'm sure if you build this outright, get all the parts new from Home Depot, it's going to run you like 200 bucks. But basically what I paid for were the hinges, right? I paid for some old paint that Home Depot had on clearance for, I think it was like $9. I bought these things close to $4, I think, and these handles, which were $1 or something each. Hinges, again, they were like $1 or so. Milk crates had laying around. I cut open some milk crates for nest boxes. Just kind of trying to experiment with them. I threw some hay in there. I have a couple of pigeons in here, but eventually I'm going to actually pull them out and then repair them in February. I did end up, actually I had these perches laying around that I bought a long time ago, and I had no use for them until now, and so I put them up, and I guess I could have done a better job. Some of them are twisting, so I'll tighten those up and try to get them straightened out. This is a bob, which once I get into the training videos, I'll explain how a bob works. I have some chicken wire over it, which I need to cut out. Didn't do that yet because I want to build a platform and a cage, so like a landing platform for the pigeons, and then they go in, and then a cage to help train them. I'll explain that in a future video. Other than that, I wanted it very airy, and I used chicken wire because chicken wire is definitely, for me, I feel it's easier for me to stretch it so it's nice and taut compared to hardware cloth. Other than that, I don't have real lock latches. I have these things, which I basically just cut from them from the paneling itself, but I use them to hold my door closed. So I open them up, here I could pull this door out, so now we have an open part. All the paneling, all the flooring is chicken wire again, nice and taut. Now they don't like walking on the chicken wire, so my thought on this was I'll put these support beams that can hang out on here, but if they defecate, it goes on the wire, it goes through the wire, and for the most part it's working. There's some pieces in the back which are starting to accumulate some pigeon waste. Nothing major. These floors are removable. I could pull these floors out to help me clean this stuff up. I don't know what my frequency of cleaning this will be, and that's why I made it so airy. I wanted a lot of air movement, less bacteria buildup, and so on. These nest boxes that I made out of milk crates, I could pull them out. You know, it's very modular. I could even take the roof apart very easily because it's just sitting on there. It's not screwed on there, but it's a really tight fit, and I used some molding over here to or a piece of wood to hold it closed. And for me it's hard to lift a 96-inch piece of wood, so I made two parts so I could have a 4-foot and a 4-foot piece of the roof that I could easily remove in case I need to remove it. Hopefully I won't never need to remove it, but we'll see. So the food thing is the feeders are right here. I already got some pellets in here. The water, that's not the water I want. I actually want I guess it's called a pigeon water, or I might make some kind of water. I just haven't thought this through. This is actually still incomplete, and I guess as I build it out I'll add to it. So this area here is about 30 inches or so, and I left the beam in the middle. So what I want to do is close the left side out. So if I could close the left side out, this will be my young bird section, so I could train the young birds. Over here I want to add a piece, close it out, so there'll be a small section here. I could have the males in here, or I could separate it into breeding areas. And then finally the third area where I have the nest box currently will be the females or the breeding area. So I kind of want to separate it. Don't want to really keep more than, I don't know, 3 pairs at best. And then I'll have the flight pen, which is almost like a kit box, where I'll have my flying team or my racing team. Not that I'm racing pigeons, because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to mess with some birds and go from there. And the pigeons, pretty interesting stuff. The pigeons I have, they're actually from a great lineage. There's a couple of scions, a couple of Vangeets. Basically what happens, I'm a falconer, and a lot of people have problems with falcons and hawks and other predator birds, birds of prey eating their pigeons. So they have me come over, I trap them, trap the birds of prey, I move them, I let them go elsewhere. They probably go right back, but at least I'll get them out of their hair for a little bit. Hopefully they don't go back. Or if they're a young bird, maybe I'll train it to hunt for me. But so in gratitude, they actually started giving me some really high quality racing pigeons. At least that's what they tell me. So when I fly them, I'll see how well they fly and stuff. But yeah, so video number 1 or episode number 1 is my Pigeon Loft. That cost me 18 bucks to build. Probably more to come with this. And then if you like it, let me know in the comments, and if you think it could help you, if you have questions on how I built it, or if you have better suggestions. I'm sure I did a mediocre job, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of suggestions how to build a better Pigeon Loft. But anyway, so this is episode 1, and here's my $18 Pigeon Loft. Yeah, so hopefully I will catch you in the next video. And again, if you have questions, comments, and probably ideas of how I could do things better, let me know, and hopefully I get to implement. All right, thanks for your time. Thanks, bye.